In the mountains of northern Japan, where mist clung to ancient cedars and silence spoke louder than words, there lived a Zen master named Takeo. His small temple perched on a rocky outcrop overlooking a valley that changed with each season, painted in cherry blossoms in spring, lush green in summer, fiery red in autumn, and pristine white in winter. Among his disciples was Hiro, a young man whose brilliant mind was both his greatest strength and his deepest obstacle. Hiro had come to the temple after completing his studies at a prestigious university in Tokyo. Though intellectually gifted, he was plagued by persistent negative thoughts that circled like hungry crows in his mind, pecking away at his peace. One particularly harsh winter morning, Hiro approached Master Takeo. The young man's face was drawn, his shoulders hunched under the weight of invisible burdens. "Master," he said, bowing low, "I have practiced Zazen meditation diligently for 2 years. I have studied the koans. I have performed my temple duties without complaint. Yet my mind remains turbulent with negative thoughts. They follow me like shadows, darkening everything I experience." Master Takeo observed his student carefully. "What kind of thoughts trouble you, Hiro?" "Thoughts of inadequacy, Master. Thoughts that I am not progressing. Fears that I have chosen the wrong path. Comparisons with others who seem to advance more quickly. Memories of past failures that haunt me. Anxieties about the future that have not yet come to pass." The old master nodded slowly, his weathered face creasing in contemplation. Instead of responding immediately, he gestured for Hiro to follow him. They walked through the snow-covered temple grounds to the kitchen, their footsteps crunching in the pristine white blanket that covered the earth. In the kitchen, Master Takeo took down 2 bowls from a shelf. One was a beautiful ceramic piece, painted with delicate cherry blossoms, perfectly formed and valuable. The other was rough clay, misshapen and cracked, clearly the work of an amateur potter. The master placed both bowls before Hiro. "Which bowl would you choose to use?" he asked. Without hesitation, Hiro pointed to the beautiful bowl. "This one, Master. It is perfect in form and decoration." He picked up the beautiful bowl and suddenly dropped it on the floor, where it shattered into dozens of pieces. Hiro gasped in shock. "Now which bowl will you use?" asked the master calmly. "The remaining one, Master," replied Hiro, bewildered by the destruction of such a valuable item. Takeo nodded and filled the imperfect bowl with steaming green tea. He handed it to Hiro, who accepted it with both hands, still perplexed. "Your mind is like these bowls," said Takeo. "You cling to the ideal of a perfect, beautiful mind, one without flaws or negative thoughts. But such a mind is fragile, and when reality shatters it, you are left with nothing." Hiro sipped the tea, allowing the warmth to spread through his body as he considered his master's words. "The imperfect bowl," continued Takeo, "may not be beautiful by conventional standards, but it serves its purpose. It holds the tea, it provides warmth and nourishment." "But Master," protested Hiro, "are we not supposed to empty our minds of negative thoughts? Is that not the goal of our practice?" Takeo reached for the imperfect bowl in Hiro's hands. "May I?" he asked. Hiro returned the bowl, and the master poured the remaining tea onto the earth floor. He then held up the empty bowl for Hiro to see. "Look at this bowl. It is empty now, but not because I commanded the tea to disappear. It is empty because I poured out its contents. I did not fight with the tea or judge it as bad. I simply let it go." The master continued, "Your mind is the same. You cannot force negative thoughts away through judgment or struggle. This only creates more turbulence, more suffering. Instead, you must learn to pour them out, to let them flow through you without clinging to them." Hiro frowned, struggling to understand. "But how, Master? How do I let these thoughts flow through without them affecting me?" Master Takeo placed the empty bowl down and led Hiro to the temple garden. Though covered in snow, the stone garden maintained its austere beauty, rocks emerging from the white blanket like islands in a frozen sea. "Watch," said Takeo. He picked up a handful of snow and molded it into a ball. "This is your negative thought. Compact, solid, seemingly real." He placed the snowball on a large flat rock. "Now watch it without interfering." Together, they observed as the morning sun slowly rose higher, its gentle rays falling upon the snowball. Gradually, imperceptibly at first, the snowball began to change. Water dripped from its sides, and its defined shape started to soften. "Your awareness is like the sun," explained Takeo. "When you shine the light of pure awareness on your negative thoughts, without judgment, without struggle, they begin to dissolve naturally. They return to their true nature, which is emptiness. Hours passed as they sat in silence, watching the transformation. By midday, the snowball had completely melted, leaving only a small damp spot that was quickly drying in the sun. "The negative thought has not been destroyed," said Takeo. "It has transformed. The water has returned to the air and the earth, where it will eventually become something new. Nothing is lost, but its form, the form that caused suffering, is gone." That evening, as the temple bell rang for meditation, Hiro took his place on the cushion with a new understanding. As he sat, negative thoughts still arose. Doubts about his practice, memories of past mistakes, anxieties about his progress. But instead of wrestling with them or chastising himself for their presence, he simply observed them. He allowed them to be, without judgment, without attachment, without resistance. Gradually, like the snowball in the sun, these thoughts began to lose their solidity. They became transparent, revealing their essential emptiness. They still came, but they also went, like clouds passing through an unbounded sky. During his years at the temple, Hiro found peace not only in meditation, but in the daily work of temple life. He tended the kitchen garden with his fellow monks. Finding presence in physical labor, he joined expeditions to collect tea leaves from the distant mountain terraces. Understanding the connection between the simple bowl and its contents, he studied ancient texts in the temple archives, no longer seeking intellectual mastery, but experiential wisdom. On many nights early in his training, Hiro had sat alone under the full moon, writing his questions on rice paper by lamplight, his face showing the struggle with fundamental Zen concepts. But as the seasons passed, his understanding deepened beyond words. Master Takeo often arranged the fragments of the shattered beautiful bowl beside the intact, imperfect one, as a teaching tool for all the temple students. The broken and the whole, both equally valid states of being. Years later, when Hiro had become a teacher himself, a young monk approached him with the same complaint he had once brought to Master Takeo. "Teacher," said the monk, "my mind is filled with negative thoughts that I cannot banish. What should I do?" Hiro smiled, took down 2 bowls from a nearby shelf, one perfect, one imperfect, and began the lesson anew, passing on the wisdom that had transformed his own practice and life. Before Master Takeo's passing, they shared one final tea ceremony beneath a blossoming cherry tree. No words were exchanged, but their expressions showed complete understanding. Cherry blossoms fell around them, a reminder of the impermanence and beauty of all things. "Empty your mind not by force," Hiro later told his student, "but by understanding the true nature of your thoughts. For what is truly empty has room for everything, yet clings to nothing."